Johnny here for Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. We're in the studio right now. We're going to be talking about Bronco stuff. But, if you're a Maverick subscriber, don't worry. We'll be back to the Maverick content. Should be Tuesday evening. We'll have a new Maverick video coming out, episode 3. So we've covered 1 and 2. We'll be covering what you need to know and what I wish I knew for the Maverick in episode 3. Really, it's all about packages. We'll be talking about that FX4 tow package, luxury package. We'll cover all that, but for today, we're in the studio just for the moment. We're gonna head down into the garage where Marie will actually present us the channels, 2 Broncos, her Bronco and my Bronco, and really be talking about all the differences between the two, mostly from a style and utility perspective, but do watch to the very end because around the 12-minute mark, we're gonna kick it back in the studio with me and we're gonna be talking about something that I think we're all interested in, and that's price. So that's really gonna cover what I wish I would have known when I ordered my Badlands Bronco and what I would have done a little differently with the Outer Banks Sasquatch Bronco. So stay tuned for all that must-know info, what I wish I would have known before ordering, because I think that'll be useful. Really, as you know, I'm Johnny and I'm here to help. So let's just, though, for the moment, hand it over to Marie. We've got 2 beautiful Broncos, and why not have her present them to us?
Two Broncos!
And how do you like your new Bronco?
I really love it. I wasn't sure at first time about the cactus gray color, but when I see it in real, that's perfect with the black grill and accessories. So yeah, I really love it finally. And when I saw it at first, alone, not side by side with the other Bronco, I was thinking, oh, it looks bigger, but no, it's only the pale color. I guess that make it look bigger.
But because before seeing the color, you said you didn't like cactus gray at all. So which one's your Bronco because of that?
Oh, I didn't hate the color. It wasn't a choice that I would took for a color. I still really love the blue one, but with the hook and the orange color, it's more like a pop-off color. This one is more conservative, so I guess I love both of them. It always depends on your humor and I guess.
And between an Outer Banks and a Badlands, which model do you prefer? Look-wise, let's just actually go piece by piece. Which grill do you prefer? What's your favorite grill?
Yeah, I think for the grill it will be that one. I love the glossy black, but I prefer the gray one. And I think it's a good hat, all the little holes that the other one doesn't have. So I really love that one.
And which mirrors do you prefer? Do you like the painted mirrors?
Yeah, the painted mirrors. Yeah, I really love that one.
And in regards to interior, the Badlands has marine grade vinyl. How do you feel about the marine grade vinyl?
That's my favorite. If you could have that in each kind of car, that would be my choice because I really love the vinyl.
Do you prefer the leather of the Outer Banks? Because this is Outer Banks has the leather. Do you prefer it?
No, I took a quick look just before. It looks almost the same, so to me it doesn't worth the money to pay for having leather seats because it's almost the same as when you look at it. But I really love the touch, and with the vinyl, I guess it won't be easy to scratch and more easy to wash. So I really appreciate that in the car.
And do you prefer the all black interior of the Badlands, or do you prefer the gray and blue interior of the Outer Banks?
Yeah, it's not that bad, the gray and blue interior, but with the cactus gray at the outside, I'm not sure about the mix of color, but for sure when you're inside you don't see that much the outside.
So you prefer an all black interior?
Yes, it matches with all colors, so you don't have to think about it a long time. And I think that's a cute look that always look clean, and so I prefer that one.
Now here's the big question. Does size matter? Do you much prefer the bigger Bronco, the Sasquatch Outer Banks?
Yes and no. What I love about it, Yes, it's more higher because of the big tires, but I love that you have side panel to
The running boards, well, the running boards come with the Outer Banks, and it's the only model that comes standard with those boards. And actually, the running boards cost quite a bit. Now, the Badlands, of course, doesn't have running boards because it's the ultimate off-roader, so it has these rock panels. They're actually supposed to be able to support the weight of the vehicle, so if you are out in the rocks and you lean up against a rock, well, you're not going to crush your paneling on your vehicle. You got those rock panels to protect you. Which tires and which mags do you prefer?
I really prefer the one of the Badlands because that kind of mags, I really love that. And I love the tread of the tires. I think it's more like a 4x4 look, if I could say that like that. The other one, on the other banks, the tires are bigger, but it's still a round look like a normal tires, but only in a bigger size and little max. So I prefer the mix and the balance of the Badlands. I guess that's my favorite choice.
Okay, and now I'm going to let you on a piece of information. The ring on that black mag can be switched for any color you want. Now, does that make you like that mag more than the Badlands mag, or do you still prefer the Badlands mag?
That's a cool feature, but with the color of the car right now, I don't know how much color we could put on that ring to make it look good. Black, silver, after that, I don't know, nothing else could fit that much, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of people are actually taking off the steel-colored, silver-colored lip, and they're throwing on a black one to give it an all-black look, like a Wild Track model. Now, bumper-wise, the Outer Banks has got this pretty plasticky bumper. It does get you fog lights, so there's absolutely no fog lights on the modular steel bumper on the Badlands, and that's a 2021 standard. It's going to get switched out for a half steel, half plastic bumper, so it's a capable bumper. This, I don't know if this is a heavy duty bumper, and this is and you know, the new Badlands and Black Diamonds bumper is called a capable bumper. Does this make this the incapable bumper? I don't know. I'll have to test it off-road, but all that plastic will crack if you lean it up against any rocks or trees. They do have the tow hooks, which are still, if we throw in added hooks to those, we'll be able to pull it out. Look-wise, which bumper do you prefer?
The Badlands, because of the look of the, like a metal look. I guess it's better than the plastic look, so to me it's the one of the Badlands.
Well, I agree with you completely, Mary Pierre, and you know what else, honey? The thing is, this bumper, when we were off-roading at the sand pit, the bottom plates actually ate some frozen sand. So that wouldn't have been very good or healthy for an oil pan. And the thing is, this one, the Sasquatch, which, because I let you pick which one you preferred, you chose in advance, I'm going to have to be careful. I'm going to have to ask you special permission to go off-roading your Bronco, because this Bronco, whereas it might look cool, there's nothing metal about this. This is plastic. I can push it in with my finger without even trying all that hard. So the underneath of this isn't protected. Now, of course, I could always just buy plates, but why not take out the Badlands? It's made for off-roading. So if I understand correctly, you do prefer the size a bit, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. It's more about how you use it.
Yes, to me it's more about the look, I guess, the difference. And for the look, I choose this one. But at the same time, if you want to take it for a ride and you leave me with that one, I won't be mad because this one have a heated seat. So as a girl, I really love that. So that's the only thing that I'm like, oh, I choose the wrong one because I don't have the heated seat in this one. But that's not bad because I really love it. So.
And actually, that's actually an interesting point about the Outer Banks. Now I didn't mean to call it an Otter Banks, even though that would be an awfully cute name because otters are pretty awesome. But the Outer Banks, correct myself here, come standard with heated seats, just like the Wild Track. So they're the only models that, of course, I'm forgetting first edition because it basically doesn't exist with how few they made. But the Outer Banks Wild Track, you get base heated seats. And with the Outer Banks, something I absolutely love is for 1,250 Canadian, so probably about that price US, you get a really nice package. I'll list everything that's in it, but simply put, what was really important to me in that package was the 12-inch screen. So we'll just take a look. Have you looked at the inside of the Outer Banks yet?
Yes, I had a quicker look, but yeah, I didn't see difference. Maybe you will know what's the difference between the two of them, but to me, I didn't see that much. What's the difference? So.
Well, you have keyless entry, first of all.
Yeah, that's
that's nice. And then you want to, well, why don't you, with your key, I think you're the one, we'll check out this big 12-inch touchscreen. Just hop right in there. So if you hit that accessory key right there, accessory button. So when you want to use accessories on a Bronco, you just don't depress the brake. You hit the start button, but without the brake pushed in, and it will turn on all the accessories. So we really wanted this 12-inch screen. Well, I really want this 12-inch screen because if I'm doing some off-roading, which of course I don't have the plates, we'll have the 360 camera, which is super useful, of course. Badlands is the only model with stabilizer bar disconnect, but we use that a whole lot. And because we won't be doing any extreme rock climbing, we really don't need it. And a correction to the Badlands, I don't know if it got an update, but now actually, even when towing, was towing uphill in automatic A, so automatic four-wheel drive. It's not quite like intelligent drive, but it's an intelligent 4x4. It went up the hill in rear wheel drive, thus saving fuel. So because you save fuel because you have about 300 pounds of moving parts that won't move when you don't send power to the front wheels. So now that you're sitting in the leather, do you find that the leather is any more comfortable than the vinyl or the marine grade vinyl, or does it work out to the same?
I guess it's a little bit smoother, but it's not a big deal to me.
Your bum's just as happy?
Yeah, the seats are large and comfortable, so that's not a big difference to me. But yeah, it's more smoother if you love that. The color, yes, I really love the touch of blue, but like I said just before, it wasn't necessary to me to love it. So if it was gray, I will appreciate it too.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Marie, for presenting all that to us. Now let's talk about price. And really this comes into, being that I'm famously cheap. I'm not famous, but my cheapness is. Let's talk about what I wish I would have known. Well, I wish I would have known how much I really wanted keyless entry. Today it was minus 25 degrees Celsius. That's about minus 6 or minus 7 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's just a pain to pull off your glove or mitt and dig into your pocket to unlock the doors. So a mid package, I wish I would have known how much I needed a mid package. And it's not just about the heated seats for Marie, which comes with the mid package. It's more about the keyless entry. That's a big one for us. Now, the Outer Banks that we have, what's really odd about price is there's not a huge difference between that Badlands, the blue one, which is not Sasquatched, and the Outer Banks, which is Sasquatch. So let me just talk about price for a moment. So if we're looking at the Outer Banks Sasquatch with a 2.7 liter, what's nice about that, that's a must know. The Outer Banks comes automatically and you can only have it with an automatic transmission. So compared to the Black Diamond, it really isn't costing very much to add the 2.7 liter engine, only $1,895. So that Outer Banks with the high package only adds $1,295 because it already has the mid package. So it has what the Badlands Bronco doesn't have, extra comfortable equipment. And adding leather to all that, really, if you don't have the leather and you do have the high package, as you saw in the video, as built, that's $52,175. Adding leather and vinyl, so that would have been if we would have taken it, without the leather and vinyl. But with leather and vinyl, it's $54,370 US. Now let's just compare that to the bare bones Bronco. Really all we have is the 2.7 liter. Well, that works out to $49,825. Now, really odd enough, the Outer Banks Sasquatch with 2.7 liter is $50,880. So I think we got extra equipment. We got the Sasquatch package. I wish I would have known that about this, about the Outer Banks, how it's a great deal if you Sasquatch it. Of course, we don't have the heavy duty modular front bumper on the Outer Banks Sasquatch. And for $895, we obviously would have taken that, but we were buying out a canceled reservation. So we had to take it as it had been built. That's just the way it was. That's what we had to deal with. Now, of course, I ordered the Badlands way before we knew anything about, fuel economy. I wish I would have known that there's a 0.6 miles per gallon difference between these two models, despite having more lift on the Sasquatch, despite having 35 inches, compared to the 34 inches on the Badlands. I also wish I would have known that later models have less wave in the window, and my Badlands window actually flaps in the wind and makes some noise, whereas this window makes absolutely no noise. Now, I got the Badlands figuring I would be saving on tires because, they're year-round rated, but the Badlands tires actually do freeze up when you get into relatively cold temperatures, so I'm happy with the Nokians on the Sasquatch. They do a fantastic job. I wish I would have known that when I built that Badlands. And of course, I just wrongly assumed that taking Outer Banks that comes standard with the keyless entry and the heated seats, I assumed putting it Sasquatch and high package would cost a fortune, but that's just not the case. So what I wish I would have known really when it comes down to price is I can have a Sasquatch Outer Banks for $54,370 with leather, or $52,175 for those that don't like leather and vinyl. Now, because we have, dogs, of course, we want the more, the easier to clean interior. And I'm really a huge fan I absolutely love the leather on the Outer Banks, and I really, really do like the marine grade vinyl on the Badlands. Mind you, like Marie said in the video, the leather is softer, but this is what I wish I would have known. It's only $1,700 more than how we built that Bronco. So if we would have taken the Bronco, let's say with high package, it would have ended up being $52,615. I find for $1,700, I much prefer having the Sasquatch package on an Outer Banks because you get the advanced 4x4, you get the locking front diff, and I think really the only people that would disagree with me, and it would be very fair, and I'd agree with them disagreeing with me, is if you're gonna go do some, relatively extreme rock crawling, obviously you want the stabilizer bar disconnect. But as you've seen possibly in my previous videos, playing around in a sand pit, you don't need stabilizer bar disconnect. It's great at following the terrain, but unless the terrain is very rough with a lot of differentiations in elevation of like 2-3 feet with what will pass underneath the vehicle, it's just not needed. So that's that. If I could do it all over again, I would go with an Outer Banks. I would take the leather because that was, I believe, $2,335 option. And if I had to, be more conscious of price, well, I'd take it without the leather. But if you are going to lease these machines, residuals are around 60%. That just means that you only have to pay 40%, give or take, of the equipment you're adding on. So if $2,300 on a lease, when you're only paying about 40% of that, that doesn't change your monthly by all that much. So I hope this has been useful. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten this far, please click on Finisher. If you haven't subscribed already, if you want to help feed that poodle, just go ahead and subscribe. In the meantime, I wish you all more cars and more power. Do hope you get to put the pedal to the metal this week. And until next time, take care.